They told her she'd have to give up equity to hire her first 5 people. She didn't. She used a $30,000 utility rebate and a state R&D credit to bridge payroll for 6 months, and that let her close a small equipment loan without diluting the founders. If you want a repeatable playbook to do the same, stay with me for the next 15 minutes. I'll give you the search map, the exact documents reviewers want, and a 90-day checklist you can use this week.
Welcome to Capital Conversations. If you're protecting your cap table, incentives matter. They're not magic and they're not always huge, but stacked correctly, they move the needle. Let's start with the simple taxonomy so you can prioritize where to spend your time.
Grants awards you don't repay, competitive, often project-specific. Tax credits, they reduce tax liability, R&D credits, payroll credits, investment credits, and in some states you can monetize or transfer them. Rebates and utility incentives, usually faster wins, especially for energy efficiency or specific equipment. Local EDO programs, negotiated packages, hiring credits, forgivable loans, property tax abatements. Each has different time and documentation costs. Match the program to a project you can document quickly.
You might be thinking, isn't that a rabbit hole? Short answer, yes, if you don't have a search map. Here's the map that saves hours. Start broad. Federal portals like grants.gov, the IRS, and your state revenue site for tax credits. Then layer in utilities. Most publish rebate pages and will assign an account rep if you ask. Local EDO websites list incentive offerings and contact points. Industry associations sometimes curate member programs. Paid databases and consultants help, but don't treat them as shortcuts. Use them to validate leads. Combine NAICS codes with targeted keywords, energy rebate, R&D credit, hiring incentive. Filter by award size and deadlines. That narrows the chase fast. What do reviewers actually look for when an application lands on their desk? Purpose and plausibility, a 1-page project summary, a simple line item budget, a timeline, and measurable outcomes. For tax credits, NAICS code, payroll records, timesheets. For R&D credits, contemporaneous notes showing hypotheses, experiments, and costs. For local incentives, lease or ownership docs, payroll projections, sometimes workforce commitments. If you can hand them a compact, well-tagged folder, you're already ahead.
Applications that win tell the program's story in the program's language. If the goal is job creation, lead with the hiring plan and local impact. If it's energy savings, quantify KWH saved and payback. Don't lead with generic mission statements. Reviewers want data and alignment. Keep a templated answer bank for common questions so you can iterate fast instead of starting from scratch each time.
Before you ask, does timing matter? Absolutely. Some programs accept rolling applications. Others have strict annual windows. If you miss a window, ask to be waitlisted. Funds sometimes roll forward. And when you can, get a letter of support from a local official or partner. It moves smaller applications up the stack. Let's talk about stacking incentives with traditional finance, because this is where deals go sideways if you don't plan. Model incentives as deferred receipts or offsets in cash flow, not as collateral. Tell your lender what you're expecting and when. If a lender holds a lien on equipment, don't promise that same asset as the basis for a rebate or grant unless everyone signs off. Get a waiver or written agreement when necessary. Talk to your CPA and banker before you close any stack. It costs time up front and prevents covenant surprises later.
Now, for a concrete example, so this isn't abstract. A small manufacturer wants a new CNC line and 3 technicians. They target an R&D payroll credit for process work, a utility rebate for high-efficiency motors, and an equipment loan for the machines. They document experiments, file the R&D credit with their CPA, apply to the utility for the rebate, and take a short-term loan for 70% of the purchase price while credits and rebates clear. The lender takes a lien on the machines, but the company models the incentives as 6-month timing relief and discloses everything up front. The numbers help. Say the CNC costs $300,000, loan covers $210,000, utility rebate $30,000 over 2 quarters, R&D credit nets $20,000 against payroll taxes. Don't assume that $50,000 arrives on day 1.
Model loan service with a cushion, maybe a 6-month interest reserve, and treat the incentives as timing relief, not principal paydown. That conservative modeling keeps you solvent when approvals lag. Small human detail. The owner told me it bought them 1 year of breathing room. Payroll kept moving and customers didn't wait. That kind of relief matters more than the exact dollar sometimes.
Compliance is non-negotiable. Assume you'll be audited. Grants often require quarterly reports with receipts. Local incentives can include clawbacks if hiring targets aren't met. Tax credits have strict documentation standards you may need years later. My rule: tag supporting documents to the project file, keep contemporaneous notes, and run a pre-filing compliance check with a CPA or tax attorney. If a program needs matching funds, secure that source before you commit.
Here's a focused 90-day action plan you can follow. Week 1, inventory incentives from federal, state, utility, and local EDO sites. List deadlines and estimated award sizes. Week 2, assemble core documents. 1-page summary, budget, NAICS code, payroll and ownership records, vendor quotes. Week 3, prioritize the top 3 opportunities by expected ROI and probability and assign an owner. Weeks 4 to 8, draft applications using templates, collect letters of support, and brief your banker and CPA about stacking. Weeks 9 to 12, submit, follow up, and close any supplemental requests. If you keep this rhythm, you'll have applications in flight in 30 days and a clear pipeline by day 90.
Quick prioritization by industry. Manufacturers, R&D credits, energy rebates, hiring incentives. SaaS, R&D credits and payroll or sales tax exemptions where available. Service firms, workforce development grants and local small business programs. And across the board, don't chase tiny awards that cost more time than they're worth. Prioritize programs with a good award-to-effort ratio.
The 3 mistakes I see most often. 1, treating incentives as windfalls instead of planned capital. 2, failing to coordinate with lenders and CPAs, so the stack falls apart. 3, underestimating reporting burdens. Flip those mistakes. Plan, disclose, document. Do that, and incentives stop being luck and start being a repeatable lever.
One pragmatic next step. Pick one credible program tied to an active project. Assemble the 1-page summary and budget. Email it to your CPA or a grant specialist for a feasibility read inside 48 hours. Small, consistent steps build momentum faster than chasing every opportunity at once.
If you found this useful, subscribe to Capital Conversations so you don't miss future episodes where we turn funding theory into repeatable playbooks. Keep building. Incentives are underused capital waiting for methodical teams to capture them. Let's talk capital. Thank you for joining us on Capital Conversations. I hope today's discussion gave you practical steps for your funding journey. Remember, securing the right capital is a crucial step in building a successful business. Until our next conversation.